That year, the impoverished boyfriend I'd broken up with had now become a successful tech CEO. During a financial interview, the host asked him whom he wished to thank the most. He replied, "I want to thank my ex-girlfriend, because it was her abandonment that made me realize money is the most important thing in this world." The moment his words landed, netizens erupted. They immediately began searching for me. A hacker even projected my secondary Weibo account onto the big screen. Seeing my posts about my frugal life, Ethan Gu sneered, "You left me just to live a life like this?" But the further they scrolled down, the stranger things became. They discovered it seemed I was already dead. 10 farewell videos, all commemorating one person. Each video began with the line, "Ethan Gu, today I've decided not to like you anymore." I was already poor, and after contracting cancer, I became even poorer. On my secondary Weibo, I shared links to buy 10 steamed buns for 5 yuan, how to maximize free samples at the supermarket, the closing hours of bakeries, and where they discarded their unsold stock. I ate as I walked, holding up my phone to record. "This frosting is so pretty. These are all clean, and normally something this small costs over 40 yuan. The taste is no different from 5 10-yuan egg tarts." Below the stage, the audience erupted in laughter. If Hazel Yue hadn't left CEO Gu, she'd be having afternoon tea at Bulgari right now. "She must regret it to death. Serves her right for being so shallow-sighted." The host then asked Ethan Gu how he felt seeing his ex-girlfriend fall into such deplorable circumstances. He tightly embraced Vanessa Wen beside him and coldly replied, "Serves her right." Below the stage, fans roared again. "CEO Gu and sister Sun San are truly a match made in heaven. An overbearing CEO and a top-tier celebrity. This is my ultimate OTP. The whole world is like a grand novel. CEO Gu and sister San San are the male and female leads, while Hazel Yue is the evil supporting character who committed all sorts of misdeeds and ultimately died tragically, ha ha ha. I truly did die a miserable death, a very miserable one. But I hadn't done anything bad. I returned money I found, and I even helped elderly people cross the street. In my not-so-long, not-so-short 25 years, the only wicked thing I ever did was abandon Ethan Gu when he was at his poorest, but I didn't want to. I couldn't drag him down into the abyss with me. Suddenly, a notification popped up on the screen. My Weibo account had just updated. Title, 10 farewell posts to the mortal world. The audience burst into laughter again, everyone claiming I was putting on a show. This interview was being broadcast live. They thought I was watching the live stream, deliberately faking a suicide attempt to regain my dignity. But in reality, I had been dead for a long time. This post was uploaded by my best friend, Nina Liu. Today happened to be my birthday. Account name, a Rebirth ticket, please. "Hello, has it started recording yet?" In the video, I smiled radiantly, waving at the camera. I wore blue and white striped patient scrubs. The setting was a hospital room. Nina Liu choked out, "It started." I clapped sharply once, as if signaling the start of a scene. Then I removed my wig, revealing my shiny, bald head. As you can see, I'm sick. My head is even shinier than a light bulb now. And I just broke up with my boyfriend of 7 years. I initiated it, mind you. Your big sister here dumped him. I proudly tilted my chin up. The reason I'm recording this video is because I think when people live in this world, they should leave something behind. If I die and no one remembers me, that would be truly tragic. Even during the Lunar New Year, no one would burn offerings for me. I'd still be a poor ghost even in the afterlife. I put my hands on my hips, feigning fierceness as I pointed at the camera. "Nina Liu, I only permit you to forget me after 1 year. If you forget me sooner, I'll be angry. If you forget me later, I'll be angry too. My dearest best friend, I hope you can quickly move past the pain of losing me. That was also the purpose of me recording this video, to help her slowly get accustomed to the truth of my impending departure, to lessen her sorrow." Nina Liu's hand holding the phone began to tremble, her stifled sobs growing clearer. "Hey, don't let the camera shake, or the image will be blurry later. You must capture your big sister's final visage clearly before I leave this world. I don't want to record anymore. You won't die. You'll definitely get better." Off-screen, Nina Liu burst into tears, but she still tried to keep the camera steady, even though the image kept shaking erratically. In the video, I swallowed, my eyes red-rimmed. If you don't like saying that, then let's change it to a recovery diary. Today is September 7th, 2023, and the weather outside is beautiful. The camera rotated in the direction I pointed, capturing the scenery outside the window. Next to the hospital was an amusement park, and my room's window looked directly out onto it. In the video, the joyous shouts of children echoed clearly. The first line in my recovery diary: "Today, I've decided not to like Ethan Gu anymore." It's only been 4 months since we broke up, and he's already in love with someone else. What a rotten man, forgetting your big sister this quickly, huh? But his new girlfriend is pretty too. I wish them happiness. I truly envy her. She has a healthy body and can marry the person I always wanted to marry. But it's okay. Your big sister will definitely be happy in her next life. The second post said farewell to the mortal world. Still in the same patient scrubs, but this time I looked thinner than in the previous video. I wore a red wig tied into 2 pigtails. Today is September 24th, 2023. I'll show everyone my patient meal. The camera zoomed in. 3 savory dishes and 1 soup, all cooked by Nina Liu. Each time the camera lingered on a dish, I would read out its name. Next up is Hazel Yu's mukbang. I began to eat, picking up food to showcase before the camera. Eating heartily, I even managed to eat half a bowl more rice than usual. Behind the camera, Nina Liu praised me, telling me I was doing so well. I replied with an incredibly exaggerated expression. "It's all thanks to my Nina's delicious cooking. I even want to lick the plate clean." I picked up the plate, pretending to prepare to lick it. Nina Liu immediately stopped me, her expression helpless. No plate licking allowed. After that, Nina Liu began to clean up, handing me the phone. I held the phone and began to introduce my wig. I spoke with great enthusiasm, appearing completely normal. But the moment Nina Liu left the room, my expression immediately twisted, contorting in pain. I lunged off the bed, hugging the trash can and heaving endlessly. When I reappeared before the camera, my face was streaked with tears from the bout of vomiting. Please don't misunderstand, everyone. Actually, Nina's cooking is truly delicious. It's just that the side effects of chemotherapy are growing more severe. Lately, I've been constantly dizzy and nauseous. I don't want to disappoint Nina's efforts. If she knew, she would definitely worry a lot. Lately, she's been looking at me and crying constantly. But it seems I've done something wrong. I heard that anyone who wastes food after death has to go down to spring-autumn hell. I playfully stuck out my tongue at the camera, trying to appear a little happier. I returned to the bed and took out the peace talisman hidden in my shirt. Ethan Gu. That old woman truly lied. She said if I wore this talisman, I wouldn't suffer any illness my whole life. But here I am, about to die. You probably don't wear your talisman anymore, do you? Or perhaps you threw it away a long time ago. Ethan Gu, tomorrow I absolutely won't love you anymore. My third entry bidding farewell to the mortal world. Today is November 27th, 2023. The weather turned cold, and snow had already begun to fall outside the window. The amusement park, once bustling with activity, was now utterly deserted. I held my phone, secretly slipping out by myself, and headed to the slide. As I walked, I talked into the camera. Perhaps no one will believe this, but since childhood, I've never once visited an amusement park. I've always wanted to go to Disneyland once. I heard the fireworks there are beautiful. But it's a pity it's too far, and I probably won't have the chance anymore. The slide was also covered in snow. I picked up a branch nearby and started poking at the layer of snow. Suddenly, a little boy appeared. So adults like playing on slides too? I was startled and turned the camera towards the little boy. His eyes were clear and innocent. Are adults not allowed to play on slides? The little boy seemed to ponder. It's not that you can't, but why don't you wait until the snow stops before playing? The snow stops? That'll take too long. I probably can't wait. The snow only stops when spring comes, and I don't have that much time left. The little boy looked puzzled and asked again, Why? The snow stops quickly. I smiled sadly, but I won't be quick anymore. I brushed the snow off the slide and sat down on it, asking the little boy to hold the phone and record for me. Children's slides are very short. It only takes a few seconds to slide down to the bottom. Just like my life, not much is left. I laughed and cheered into the camera, as if I were playing on an endless rainbow slide amidst a meadow. Only I knew I was making up for my regrets. The amusement park Ethan Gu never took me to. I went by myself this once, to have no regrets. The melted snow clung to me, chilling me to the bone. That night, I caught a cold. Nina Lu knew about it, and she grabbed my ear, scolding me for 2 hours straight. "Do you even know you're a patient? And you went running outside to play on slides with a kid? Quick, take this fever medicine, then go to sleep immediately and sweat it out under the blankets." I coughed and laughed, taking the medicine from her hand. But as soon as she left the room, the smile on my face vanished. I propped my phone on the table, panting heavily, trying to regain my composure. My hands trembling, I took a few breaths of oxygen, then forced a smile for the camera. "I'm sorry, everyone. Lately I've been experiencing shortness of breath more and more. A dry cough. But honestly, I used to handle cold very well, really. Once I recover, I'll go winter swimming." I even added the little boy on WeChat. He had a smartwatch. He messaged me, "Big sister, wait until next year when the snow melts, and I'll play on the slide with you again, okay?" I smiled sadly and messaged back a single word. "Okay." I hope I still have time. My fourth entry bidding farewell to the mortal world. February 9th, 2024, Lunar New Year's Eve. Let's go home today. I held my phone, sitting in the car, happily filming the scenery outside the window. Occasionally, I would turn the camera to Nina Lu sitting next to me, but when the car stopped and it was time to get out, the smile on my face became strained. Because by then, I could no longer walk on my own. Nina Lu helped me into a wheelchair. Seeing the sadness on her face, I suggested we race. I handed her the phone, then rolled my wheelchair ahead. I looked back and said, "Come on, chase me. I've got a whole 4 wheels now. I'm definitely faster than your legs." Nina Lu, holding the phone, chased after me. And in the end, I was the first to reach the door of our rented room. I gave her a look of mock dissatisfaction. "My dear Nina Lu, if you're going to let me win, at least make it look a little more believable. What's with lack of oxygen, can't run? It sounds ridiculous." Nina Lu just smiled and said nothing. We really didn't have much money left. On Lunar New Year's Eve, 2 bowls of noodles with a boiled egg were the best we could afford to eat. Outside, fireworks boomed, filling the sky. We leaned against each other, chatting under the lights. "Nina, do you remember the first time we met?" "Of course! Back then, you had snot running down your nose. You were the dirtiest kid in the orphanage. Ha ha ha." "Why do you only remember that? What about me, the hero saving the damsel in distress? Why don't you mention that? You have the nerve to bring that up? Clearly, Ethan Gu just bent down to pick something up, but you falsely accused him of lifting my skirt, and then the 2 of you got into a fight. In the end, both of you were punished and weren't allowed to eat dinner that night." Recalling the first time I met Ethan Gu, my eyes became wistful. Time flies. We've known each other for 19 years. Just then, the clock struck midnight. I had a premonition. I stared intently at Nina Lu, and after a long moment, I softly said, "This year marks exactly 20 years since we met." "That's right, Hazel. We have many, many more 20-year periods ahead of us. You absolutely must stay by my side." "Mm-hmm." Suddenly, my eyelids felt heavy. My head slowly leaned onto her shoulder, and my eyes closed. My 5th entry, bidding farewell to the mortal world. February 13th, 2024. After 3 days and 3 nights in emergency care, I finally woke up. Seeing Nina Lu's exhausted face, I broke down. I violently pulled out the IV needle, blood splattering all over the bed. The bright red streaks of blood on the pristine white sheets were incredibly stark. I screamed at Nina Lu. "Why did you save me? Why am I not dead yet? Let me die!" Nina Lu quickly pressed the call button for the nurse. I grabbed a pillow and threw it violently at the camera. Then I wildly clawed at my own face, and soon my face was covered in blood. Nina Lu tried to approach to stop me, but the closer she got, the more panicked I became. "Get out! I told you to get out! Go now!" Next came violent retching, and I vomited all over myself. Nina Lu burst into tears. "Hazel, you've always been so strong. You once said you wanted to film your recovery until you were completely well. Get out!" My heart-wrenching screams were her only answer. She could only stand rooted to the spot, watching as the doctor entered and injected me with a sedative. The doctor said, "Family members must understand. The pain patients endure every day is beyond our imagination. Sometimes a mental breakdown is unavoidable." When I calmed down, I looked up in despair, my eyes red-rimmed. "Nina, Hazel." She stepped forward, not caring about the stains on my body, and hugged me tightly. My hands trembled as I returned her embrace, my chin resting on her shoulder, tears streaming ceaselessly. "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been angry with you. I don't want to be a burden to you, always dragging you down like this." When I woke up, E kept thinking I was still normal, but the pain in my body reminded me that I'm sick. What do I do, Nina? I'm sick." I burst into tears, completely broken. Nina Lu tightened her arms, holding me even closer. "It's okay. It's really okay, Hazel. You'll definitely get through this. You definitely will. You're everyone's little son. You're strong, Hazel." My 6th entry, bidding farewell to the mortal world, March 19th, 2024. Suddenly, I could stand up. My health improved remarkably, filling Nina Lu with boundless joy. But looking at the doctor's hesitant eyes, I understood. This was merely a final burst of light. I pulled up my sleeve, revealing an arm covered in bruises. "What am I going to do, Nina? My arm's practically turned into a sieve. It hurts so much." Now you feel the pain? Yesterday you stayed up all night hunting for tickets without a single peep." I pouted, feigning grievance. "This is my ex-boyfriend's first interview since he became famous. Of course I had to go cheer him on. It's been ages. I had to see how well he's doing for himself." Nina Lu was silent. A moment later, she gently touched me. "You broke up with him back then because you didn't want to drag him down when his company was just starting up. If he still loves you now, would you ask him for help?" "Absolutely not," I replied firmly. "But his company now brings in tens of millions every day. He can definitely afford your medical treatment." "Still no, and you're not allowed to go find him either." "But your current situation—" I pulled down my sleeve, hiding the frightening wounds. "I'm still fine right now. Besides, I left him when he was at his poorest. Now that he's just found success, I go back and tell him I'm sick. What kind of person would that make me? Don't worry, I'm Hazel Yui, you know. A little bit of cancer? No big deal." I touched my index finger to my thumb, making a "got it in the bag" gesture, then playfully winked at her. Nina Lu looked at me, sighing helplessly. "Even with all the money in the world, this disease isn't guaranteed to be cured. You'd be better off using the little money you have left to enjoy your remaining days. Come on, let's go. It's rare for us to get out, so let's not talk about these things anymore. Any slower, and the aquarium will close." "Ah." I turned my head to talk to Nina Lu, not paying attention, and ran straight into someone. I quickly bowed my head to apologize. But when I looked up and clearly saw the face of the person in front of me, I immediately stumbled back a few steps. Nina Lu cried out in surprise. "Ethan Gu?" Even though he was completely masked, it's true what they say. Just the eyes are enough to recognize a loved one. "Hazel Yue?" His peach blossom eyes flashed with surprise, then anger and resentment. Reflexively, I turned and fled. The camera shook violently as Nina Lu chased after me at full speed. A cancer patient like me actually ran faster than when I was healthy. In the whistling wind, I heard a familiar voice loudly calling my name. "Hazel Yue, do you hate me that much?" The 7th post bids farewell to the mortal world, March 24th, 2024. Just for a quick look, sorry to trouble you. Little Yue, it's not that I have a problem with you. After all, we grew up together in the same orphanage. But you were the one who broke up with him that year. He had a really hard time getting over it. Your junior schoolmate, Vanessa Wen, has now become a top star in the entertainment industry, and she really likes him. The public's attention on them also benefits the promotion of Fei An Company, so please don't. I smiled and nodded. I understand, Andrew Ann. I won't bother him. I just want to see him one last time. Cough, just to look. All right. After a few exchanges, I turned the camera toward myself. I'm at Andrew Ann's house. The person behind me is Ethan Gu's colleague. Back in the day, to force him to write code, Andrew Ann actually bought the house directly across from his. From this glass window, you can look directly into his house. If he ever got lazy, a call would immediately come through, ha. But he always draws the curtains. I wonder if I'll even be able to see anything. As I spoke, I turned the camera towards Ethan Gu's new house. The lens passed through the partially drawn curtains, stopping in the middle of the living room. There, a mannequin wore a wedding dress. The dress was incredibly familiar. The smile on my lips froze. It was the very design I had once sketched, declaring I would wear it when I married him. Unlike typical white wedding dresses, this gown had a vibrant, multicolored flowing skirt like a blossoming flower. We had already broken up. Why did he still make this wedding dress? A moment later, he returned. He took off his mask and walked closer to the dress. He raised his hand and gently stroked it. Then he clenched his hand into a fist, pulling sharply and wrinkling the skirt. After that, his entire body seemed to lose all strength, and he collapsed onto the floor. He bowed his head, his shoulders trembling. It seemed he was crying. Holding the camera, I couldn't help but start choking up too. I bit my lip hard, trying to force back the tears. The 8th post bids farewell to the mortal world. March 26th, 2024. At the interview venue, the glow sticks sparkled brilliantly. This interview program was more like a wild fan meet. Nina Liu raised her camera, but not to film Ethan Gu. She pointed the lens at me, who was enthusiastically waving a glow stick maniacally. "Miss, please slow down. You'll shake off your wig at this rate." I pulled down my mask a little. "It's fine. I've clipped my hair very securely today. Even a level 10 wind won't blow it off. Hey, do you see? My makeup looks pretty good today, right? I don't look like a patient at all, do I?" Nina Liu laughed while choking up. "Your makeup skills are still as terrible as ever." "Pfft, you have no taste." Ethan Gu stepped onto the stage. At today's interview, he would announce the company's new game. The very next second, Ethan Gu's singing voice echoed through the camera. He personally performed the game's theme song. "The first moment I met you on the street corner, I realized the world still held beautiful things. I love you, not just for that smile." I turned back, clapping enthusiastically in front of the camera. "Amazing! Just a few short lines already brought out the emotional struggle in the game, as expected of him." The fans' screams shook the entire hall. "The lyrics are amazing! Vanessa Wen is truly Ethan Gu's salvation." Ethan Gu was right to break up. After breaking up with Hazel Yue, his company immediately went public. She truly is a jinx. He should have kicked her out a long time ago. "What did you just say?" Nina Liu turned around. I quickly pulled her back, but it was too late. She had already reached the people who had just spoken. "What did you just say about Hazel Yue?" They turned to look at Nina Liu. "We said she's just a useless person who drags others down. A money grubber who turned her back and left when President Gu had no money. Hey, why are you defending that kind of person?" "Who did you just call that kind of person?" Nina Liu was absolutely livid, pushing the person in front of her hard. I quickly rushed over and hugged her, offering them an apologetic smile. Sorry, my friend is a little agitated." That fan gave me a contemptuous glance. Finally, someone sensible. Even when President Gu made this game, it was to confess his love to Sister Vanessa Wen. Please tell that woman surnamed Yue to disappear as far as possible. As soon as she finished speaking, the camera zoomed in on the VIP area where Vanessa Wen was seated. She wore an evening gown, sitting ramrod straight, exuding a noble aura. The entire hall immediately erupted in commotion, screams echoing ceaselessly. "Sister-in-law!" On stage, Ethan Gu smiled, nodding toward her. The atmosphere grew even more fervent. "They're definitely in love. I absolutely have to ship this couple." Immediately after that, the camera changed direction, stopping on my face. Nina Liu looked at me worriedly. "Hazel Yue?" I was startled awake, trying to force a smile. "Huh? What's wrong? They really are a good match. I want to ship them too, you know." "Hazel Yue, say whatever you want to say." In front of me, you don't need to put on a brave face. I don't believe you've truly let go." I remained silent, head bowed. A moment later, I looked up. My eyes were already red-rimmed, and I forced a smile for the camera. "I'm about to die anyway, so what if I can't let go?" Just then, a spotlight shone directly on me. I flinched. Was the camera on me? On stage, Ethan Gu seemed to realize something. The hand holding the microphone paused. He looked up at the large screen. Under the lights, my seat was now empty. I leaned against the wall, panting for breath. Nina Lu supported me, simultaneously raising her camera. "Miss, you're a patient. Why are you running so fast?" I adjusted my wig in front of the camera. If I didn't run, I'd be discovered. And then his fans would definitely chew me out. He's worked so hard for so long to create this game, and it's even being launched during this show. What kind of person would I be if I ruined it? "Hazel Yue." A familiar voice echoed from behind me. My hand froze mid-adjustment of my hair, and I hurriedly pulled my mask higher. But in the very next second, he stepped forward and ripped the mask from my face. I froze, stunned, facing Ethan Gu. His peach blossom eyes looked down at me, his brows tightly furrowed. Nina Lu, standing beside me, was so startled she nearly dropped her camera. It hasn't been long since you left me, and yet you've become like this." He forcefully lifted my chin, the corner of his mouth curling in disdain. "It seems the man you betrayed me for, disregarding 7 years of our relationship, isn't treating you very well, is he?" I snapped back to reality, immediately pushing him away, pulling up my mask, and taking 2 steps back. The distance between us was too close, so close I could smell the familiar scent of his body wash. That scent, it hadn't changed. I momentarily lost my focus. He misinterpreted my silence as intentionally ignoring him, and the smile on his lips grew even more sarcastic. "I thought he was so capable he'd made you refuse to say a single word to me. Turns out he's just mediocre. In the future, if you want to watch my show, just watch it openly. I won't mock you. After all, you're just an insignificant stranger in my life now." My chest ached, and I cast my eyes down, softly replying, But Nina Lu couldn't hold back. "Really? Insignificant?" "Of course," he chuckled dismissively. "I should even thank you, Hazel Yue." I froze. If it weren't for you, I would never have realized that Vanessa Wen is the true love of my life. He curled his lips. "Thank you for your betrayal." "She didn't. She actually—" "I know." I immediately covered Nina Lu's mouth with my hand and offered him a smile. "I wish you both 100 years of happiness." His brows furrowed slightly. Nina Lu still wanted to say something, but I pulled her away forcefully, dragging her along quickly. Behind us, Vanessa Wen's voice rang out. "Ethan, was that Hazel Yue?" In the wind, his voice was vague and unclear. "No. In my heart, she died long ago." 9th entry. Bidding farewell to the mortal world. March 30th, 2024. Through the camera lens, Nina Lu's eyes were red-rimmed, and she frantically searched everywhere. I woke up this morning and she was nowhere to be found. The blanket was neatly folded as if she hadn't slept at all last night. In the dead of night, where could she have gone? That silly girl couldn't have been provoked by Ethan Gu again, could she? Ever since we returned from the show, I felt she wasn't right. It's just one man. If she dares to secretly go and commit suicide without telling me, I'll break off our friendship with her. Crying, she rushed to search. The camera followed her through narrow paths, past terraced fields, and stopped at a cemetery. In front of 2 small earthen graves, a frail figure sat on the steps, staring blankly at the tombstones. "Hazel Yue!" Nina Lu rushed over, furious, as if to hit me. "What are you doing running off here by yourself?" I slowly turned my head, tilting it as I looked at her. After a few bewildered seconds, I finally reacted. "Oh, it's Nina." "Hazel?" Her voice trembled. I smiled, waving my hand dismissively. "It's nothing. Lately, my endurance has just been poor, and my memory's also gotten worse. I often dream of my parents. Last night, the pain was so bad I couldn't sleep, so I came out here to sit for a bit. As I spoke, the smile on my face became even more genuine. This place was where my foster parents were buried. I once had a happy family. My foster parents treated me incredibly well, but that happiness was quickly snatched away by fate. A year ago, they died in a car accident. Soon after, I was also diagnosed with cancer. Nina, I feel like someone is waiting for me to come home here. That's enough. Nina Lu moved closer to me. Why didn't you call me if you were in pain? Does it still hurt now? Do you need to go to the hospital? I shook my head, still smiling. It hurts less these days. Sometimes I even feel like a normal person. Perhaps this is... Shut up right now, Nina Lu cut me off. After you eat, I'm taking you to the hospital. The night wind ruffled my hair. There were some words I knew, yet couldn't bring myself to say. So I simply smiled and nodded. All right, what's good to eat today? The video clip ended here. When it opened again, I was the only one in the frame. I often filmed myself, but today's story was a little heavy. I looked into the lens and smiled. I secretly filmed this part. Nina would definitely not allow me to say these things. Just now, I saw her secretly crying by herself again. Actually, I wasn't dreaming of my parents. Instead, in a state between waking and dreaming, I saw them standing at the door, holding my favorite braised ribs. They smiled and asked if I was tired from working outside. Then they said they wanted to take me home. I sighed, raising my head to try and swallow back my tears, but one still silently trickled down the corner of my eye. Tell me, everyone, do people eventually realize, after walking for so long, that at some point they've become utterly alone? After a moment of thought, I chuckled. Huh, that's not so bad, is it? As it is now, I only need to worry about Nina. If I go alone, at least there won't be anything holding me back, right? At this, I immediately waved my hand at the camera. No, Nina can't hear these words. I'll hide this part. When I die, if Nina finds it and wants to scold me, well, I won't be able to hear her anyway. You all don't know this, but when she's filming, she's still holding back. But when she really scolds someone, it's unbearable, the kind that even ghosts would avoid. I paused, looked into the lens, and gave a small wave. All right, that's all for today. I love you all. I love you, my Nina. 10th entry. Bidding farewell to the mortal world. April 5th, 2024. Nina Lu held the camera in the car, panning it back and forth. Weather, sunny and beautiful. Temperature, pleasant. Hazel Yue? I poked my head out from under the small blanket, my slender hand raising a V sign for the camera. Hazel Yue, invincible. Nina Lu sighed. Hey, your voice is so weak and you still want to go? I rested my chin on my hand and replied, Of course. Today is the day he receives the greatest honor of his life, his most brilliant moment. Nina Lu scoffed. He wrote a love song for Vanessa Wen, and you're not even going to curse him out? You're actually going to watch him receive a game award yourself? I smiled. He always thought I betrayed him. If he didn't write a love song for Vanessa Wen, was he supposed to write one for me? The car stopped near the awards ceremony venue. As soon as I stepped out of the car, the first thing I saw was Ethan Gu's image displayed on the building's large screen. 3 Lives, Faded Love continues to top download charts domestically and internationally. A tech genius's ultimate romance, dedicated to his beloved. The familiar melody echoed throughout the plaza. The first moment I saw you on that street corner, I knew true beauty still existed in this world. I love you. Not just for that smile. That's awful, Nina Lu pouted. I chuckled. Not at all, it's lovely. Come on, let's go in. We worked so hard to get these tickets. Let's not waste them. I pulled Nina Lu along. Just as I took a step, everything went dark before my eyes. Everything spun, and I heard Nina Lu's panicked scream in my ear. Hazel Yue! The scene shifted. I was lying on a hospital bed, my eyes fixed on the TV on the wall, which was broadcasting the awards ceremony. On stage, Ethan Gu stood beside Vanessa Wen, accepting the award and giving his acceptance speech. Actually, receiving this award today, beyond the surprise, I want to thank someone. I want to thank the person who abandoned me that year. If it weren't for her sudden disappearance, I wouldn't have known I could love someone so deeply." Vanessa Wen's face flushed crimson. The entire hall erupted in excited screams from CP fans. I turned the camera toward myself, observing my gaunt face on the screen, then turned it back, giving a light cough. "Cough, cough, I need to clarify something. I didn't disappear because I abandoned him, rather, I died." Nina Liu, weeping, interrupted me. "Could you stop messing around? I just barely managed to stop crying." The camera shook, as if I was laughing so hard my hand trembled. But in reality, I no longer had the strength to hold the device. I handed the camera back to Nina Liu, closing my eyes. "I'm so tired. I just want to sleep. This time, perhaps I can truly rest." The recording ended there. Nina Liu sat beneath the stage, sobbing uncontrollably. Ethan Gu stared blankly at the darkened screen for a long time. He turned to Nina Liu, his eyes vacant. "Why didn't she tell me?" Nina Liu choked back a sob, her voice trembling. "When she found out about her illness, that was when the two of you were at your poorest. She said that if you knew, you would definitely sell your company, go everywhere looking for a cure for her. But Andrew Ann told her that your project was very promising. As long as you persevered, it was sure to explode. She knew she didn't have much time left. She also wanted to go home." Ethan Gu clenched his fists, veins bulging on the back of his hands. He tried to hold back his tears, forcing out a bitter laugh. "She must have hated me terribly, right?" Nina Liu shook her head. "She recorded some videos herself. I only found out after she passed away." As she finished speaking, the image reappeared on the large screen. I waved towards the camera, still hooked up to an IV, lying on my hospital bed. "I think there are a few things that need to be clarified. I don't know if, after this video airs, everyone will have some misunderstandings about Ethan Gu. But he's a very good person. We grew up together. I know him well." I paused, took a shallow breath, then continued. "Ever since that show, my account has continuously received transfers from an anonymous account. I know it's him." I took out a bank statement. Each transfer was a 7- or 8-figure sum. I looked into the camera, smiling faintly. "I know it's you, Ethan Gu. Thank you. But it's too late. I can't be saved anymore. However, I will donate this money on your behalf, setting up a fund to support cancer patients or sending it to charities." I paused, a gentle smile gracing my lips. Ethan Gu did nothing wrong. He's always been tough on the outside, but soft on the inside. I hope everyone won't attack him online. Thank you. I waved goodbye to the camera. Goodbye. This time, it's truly goodbye. The final segment of the recording finished playing. Ethan Gu sat there, silent, not uttering a single word. Beneath the stage, some fans couldn't sit still. What's going on here? CEO Gu and Sister Vanessa are already together, and suddenly an ex-girlfriend appears. What does she want? Isn't she a home wrecker? But immediately someone retorted, "These are just snippets of footage recorded before she died. Even if it wasn't aired here, it's already widespread on social media. She's already dead. How could she control this? No matter what, someone who's dead can't be a home wrecker." "She's not a home wrecker," Ethan Gu spoke up. The entire hall immediately fell silent. Vanessa Wen hesitated for a moment, taking the microphone. "I'm sorry, actually, Ethan Gu and I... It was fake." Some time later, Ethan Gu ceased participating in any company promotional activities. When Vanessa Wen sought him out, he was sitting in front of a wedding dress he'd made himself, surrounded by discarded wine bottles. "What are you doing?" Vanessa Wen stepped forward and snatched the wine bottle from his hand. "You've only been drinking for 3 days, not eating anything. Do you want to follow Hazel too? Do you think she'd want to see you like this?" "See me?" Ethan Gu let out a bitter, self-deprecating laugh. "Can she even see me?" Vanessa Wen choked, unable to continue. Ethan Gu propped his hand on his forehead, his shoulders trembling, unsure if he was weeping or laughing. If she were still alive, she must have hated me to death, right? If only I had made money sooner. Even just a little sooner, I could have covered her treatment costs. Then she could have stayed at ease, letting me help her overcome her illness. Not like this. He couldn't continue, his gaze shifting to Vanessa Wen. What are you doing here? I've already helped you clarify things. We were just a business alliance. No one will call you a homewrecker, and your career won't be affected. Don't bother me and her anymore. Vanessa Wen gritted her teeth and said, I know, but before I leave, I need to make a few things clear. If Hazel truly hated you, why did she record that video explaining things to protect you? You and Hazel were childhood sweethearts. Don't you understand what kind of person she was? If she could still see you, do you think she could rest easy leaving? She left you so she could see you succeed. But look at yourself now. What are you doing? Vanessa Wen, in a fit of anger, kicked a dusty game character model. What about your dream of making games? If you truly loved her, use the rest of your life to make games for her. Let her feel your love even in heaven, not by sitting here destroying yourself. With that, she left a box of food and turned to leave. Ethan Gu sat there, staring at the game character model for a long time. When he stood up, his legs buckled from exhaustion. After 3 days of living only on wine, he had lost all his strength. He forced himself to eat a few bites of the food Vanessa Wen had left, finally regaining enough strength to pick up the character model in his hand. That familiar character reminded him of the days he spent designing games with Hazel Yue. Female characters can wield a meteor hammer too, you know. If I lived in a game, I'd definitely be a female hero wielding a meteor hammer, conquering the world. Then let my Hazel Yue live forever in my game. That night, Ethan Gu updated his Weibo. The post was just a piece of paper with the words, "The moment I first saw you on that street corner, I knew such beauty still existed in this world. I love you, not just for your smile." March 12th, 2023. The online community quickly deciphered the hidden meaning in the post. Was this song written for Hazel Yue? They hadn't even broken up back then. So he always said "I love you" to Hazel Yue. I can't bear it. Why would fate be so cruel to Hazel Yue? In just one night, Hazel Yue's Weibo account gained millions of followers. Yet the account held only a single post. If you're feeling down, you're welcome to chat here. I wish everyone health, happiness, and to grow old gracefully beside their beloved. Every day, countless new comments appeared beneath that post. Sister, is the other side better? I'm so tired, I want to find you. Hey, little one above, if you're struggling, just speak up. Auntie may not be rich, but I'll do my best to help. Cancer must be so painful. How did you get through those final days? Senior, I've talked him into getting back to life, so don't worry. Sister, the snow has melted. Come quickly and play on the slide with me. Thank you, sister. When I was on the verge of breaking, seeing how optimistic you were in your final moments, it made me want to try just a little harder. Amidst these comments, one was pushed to the top with countless likes. I never stopped loving you. Commenter, Ethan Gu, 16. Nina Lu's account had just uploaded a new video. In a short time, it had climbed to the top of the search rankings. In the video, she recorded the orphanage where we had grown up together. Sadly, that place had been demolished, now replaced by a nursery school. The little courtyard, once brimming with 20 years of our shared memories, had been completely leveled. Ethan Gu stood to one side, watching in silence. The wind swept by, and he remained unmoving until Nina approached, when he barely stirred back to reality. Why are you here? His gaze remained fixed on the bustling nursery school. When she passed, was it painful? It was peaceful, like falling asleep. Is that so? A forced smile tugged at the corner of his lips, but soon his shoulders began to tremble and tears streamed down his face. There were times I'd delude myself, believing it was all just my imagination, that she was just out playing, that it was all just a nightmare. And when I woke up, I'd find her still lying beside me. All I'd have to do was gently nudge her, and she'd stir awake. Just like always, she'd look at me and say good morning. But each time I opened my eyes, I was forced to confront this cruel reality once again. I had truly lost her. Forever. Nina paused. Her voice trembled. Those words, they sound so familiar. She also sometimes forgot she was a patient. Ethan Gu bowed his head. Sometimes I truly just want to drown in that illusion, never to awaken. With that, he turned and walked away, alone, along the winding path through the fields. Just as he and another girl had once walked shoulder to shoulder on that very road. Life, sometimes you just keep walking, until you suddenly realize you're all alone. Nina turned the camera towards the nursery school, her laughter tinged with a choked sob. Look, the children here are picked up and taken home every day, not like us back then, gazing longingly through the fence each day. In our next lives, we absolutely have to be best friends again, okay? The wind chime by the gate chimed spontaneously, even though there was no wind. Its clear, crisp sound echoed. Nina threw the stone in her hand, her voice choked with tears. Damn it all! And